Not on my watch. One Mexican down?
Havoc Rover finally got access to his S6 in this patch. This sequence is actually insane, as it gives him free 25% crit rate. That's more than what you can get from an average 5-star sword like Emerald of Genesis. This actually gave him a very huge boost and made him better or comparable to some limited 5-star DPS characters. In this video, I will cover everything you need to know about him, including his kit, best builds, rotations, teams, and more. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting with his kit, Rover fills his Forte circuit bar with his Resonance skill, Intro skill, and normal attacks. After the Forte is full, using heavy attack will activate Dark Surge state. In this state, all of Rover's basic attacks is replaced. There is an enhanced heavy attack as well, but we don't really need to know about it. And the Resonance skill is also enhanced. This enhanced Resonance skill will also restore some Forte circuit stacks. If you use the skill, it will extend the duration of his Dark Surge state by a bit. But if you use this skill as soon as the Dark Surge state is activated, you will lose the extended duration, as the Forte will be initially full. So use it in the middle of your main DPS rotation after some of his Forte is depleted. He gets 20% Havoc damage bonus while the Dark Surge state is active. So, you would always want to use his nuke, that is Liberation, while this state is active. The Liberation has an insanely high multiplier of 1,520% at level 10. It has an energy cost of 125, and to help with its restoration, the second inherent skill gives extra energy when hitting a target with basic attack in Dark Surge state. His Outrow skill deals some nice damage. The kit of Havoc Rover has many swap cancel windows. You can swap cancel his normal Resonance skill, the heavy attack that we use when his Forte circuit is filled to enter the Dark Surge state, also the enhanced Resonance skill. So due to this, you can play him in mainly two ways. One is as a quick swap DPS by utilizing the swap cancel windows I mentioned just now, and the second one is a hyper carry or main DPS. The hyper carry or main DPS also has some variants where you can do medium rotation or long rotation. More about this in the rotation section. So now with this information, let's proceed with the video. Moving on to his talent priority. It depends on the type of playstyle you want. For the quick swap variant, the Liberation becomes the biggest source of damage, so it takes the top priority, followed by his Forte circuit, the Resonance skill. The basic attacks and intro skill can be chosen to skipped, or you can slightly level them if you want to min-max his DPS. For the hyper carry variant, since you will be doing a lot of his basic attacks in his Forte circuit state, so prioritize the Forte circuit and the Liberation first, then his Resonance skill. The basic attacks and intro skill can be leveled up slightly or ignored. Let's move on to his sequences, as a huge portion of his powers is locked behind them. The first sequence just gives 30% Resonance skill damage bonus, which is not that much of a deal. The second sequence is amazing. This sequence will reset the skill cooldown when he enters the Dark Surge state. So you can use his normal skill, then heavy attack to enter Dark Surge state, and this will reset the skill cooldown. The third sequence gives some healing from the 5th hit of his enhanced basic attack combo. The fourth sequence gives some nice damage boost by reducing the Havoc resistance of enemies by 10%. This becomes more valuable if you have a second Havoc character in the team. The fifth sequence gives some additional damage alongside the 5th hit of his enhanced basic attack combo. And the sixth sequence is the best one and a huge damage boost. It gives the Rover 25% crit rate while in his Dark Surge state. This lets you reduce some crit rate from your build and focus on other offensive stats. Moving on to his weapons, all the 3 5-star swords are his best options and very close to each other, with the Red Spring being the best one as it provides some basic attack damage bonus, followed by Blazing Brilliance and Emerald of Genesis. The event weapon from 1.4, S5 Somnor Anchor, is a really good weapon option for him, but only if you're using him as a hyper carry, as it needs 10 seconds to ramp up its buffs. For quick swap playstyle, the value of this weapon falls drastically as swapping out clears all the buffs. The Commando of Conviction is an amazing 4-star option, providing a lot of attack after doing an intro. Lumen Gloss is another option, but only viable for main DPS playstyle. Endless Collapse is a great weapon, providing more unconditional buffs than the Commando of Conviction. Lunar Cutter is a good option for quick swap playstyle. Moving on to his echoes, the best echo set for him is going to be the Havoc Eclipse, providing up to 40% Havoc damage bonus. And the echo skill will be Dreamless. This echo deals very high damage, which further gets boosted by the Havoc Rover. After using his ultimate, this skill deals 50% more damage. The damage covers a very huge AoE, and its long animation can be immediately swap cancelled. It is the best option for both the main DPS and quick swap DPS playstyle. The Nightmare Crownless Echo also works for main DPS playstyle due to its Havoc and basic attack damage buff. For the Echo stats, crit rate or damage on the 4-cost Echo, crit damage Echo is mostly preferred as you will be getting 25% from his sequence. The aim is to reach 65% or higher crit rate. Double Havoc damage bonus on the 3-cost Echo, or a combination of 1 Havoc and 1 attack percent also works, even though slightly worse around 3 to 5% and attack percent on the 1-cost Echo. You can also use 44111 Echo combination with Dreamless as the main Echo skill and the Crownless or Nightmare Crownless as the second skill. Crit on both the 4 costs and attack percent on the 1-cost Echoes. This is a worse option but can be easier to farm, especially if you're just starting out. For his energy requirements, it depends on how you are using him. For hypercarry playstyle, as you will be spending a lot of on-field time with him, and thanks to his second inherent passive, you can get away with 0 to 10% energy regen. For quick swap playstyle, around 20% energy regen should be enough. It can be reduced if you plan to weave in some basic attacks during his combos. For Echo substats, energy regen until required, followed by crit stats, attack percent, and flat attack. Basic attack damage or liberation damage bonus can be nice too. Moving on to his team comps. Let's start with the hyper carry variant. The best buffer for the Rover is going to be Rachia, as she provides the best buffs for him, Havoc, and basic attack damage bonus. She also provides crowd control, which is really good for the Rover, as it makes hitting multiple enemies with his liberation easier. After Rachia, the best buffer for him is going to be Danjin. She is quite close to Rachia. Her rotations are quite short as she generates good amount of Concerto energy, deals very good personal damage, and gives 23% Havoc damage amplification. If you don't wish to invest in Danjin, you can use Sanhua, one of the easiest characters to use with extremely short rotation and provides 38% basic attack damage amplification. She's not far off behind Danjin. And the last slot will be a sustained support like Shorekeeper, Barina, or Baiji. For a quick swap playstyle, you can team him up with other quick swap DPS characters. Changli, the queen of quick swap DPS, is the best for this role. Xiangli Yao, Encore, even Rachia is suitable for this playstyle. Calcharo, maybe the upcoming character Brant are some great options. And the last slot is Flex. It can either be a sustained support like Shorekeeper, Varina, or Baiji, or it can be another quick swap DPS if you can manage to survive. Moving on to his rotations. Before getting on to the main rotation of the Rover, during the preparation phase of your supports, make sure to swap to your Rover whenever possible for some time. And when you swap into him, aim to use his Resonance skill on cooldown to generate Forte stacks and Concerto. I usually start my first rotation with the Rover's skill, then swap cancel it. Along with that, make sure to use 3 to 4 basic attacks to stack the 5-piece Havoc Eclipse buff. If you didn't know, even if you miss the basic attack, you still get a stack of the buff. So after all the preparation is done, we intro to Rover. There are 3 ways to do his rotation. One is a short combo, a medium combo, and a long combo. Let's start with the medium one. This combo is suitable for main DPS or hyper carry Rover. So we start with his intro skill. If you have done his warm-up rotations, your Forte should be filled or almost filled. Use his Resonance skill. This will also give the remaining Forte stacks. Then use the heavy attack to enter Dark Surge state. This will reset the skill cooldown. Then use his 5-hit basic attack combo. Use his Resonance skill, which can be swap cancelled if you want, but swapping out will remove all the buffs, so I prefer not to do that. Then use another basic attack combo. Use his Liberation, Dreamless Echo skill, and swap cancel. For the second rotation as well, make sure to keep switching into the Rover to do his warm-up rotation. The long rotation is also similar. Rover can manage to fit in 3 whole basic attack combos in his Dark Surge state duration. It gives slightly higher damage but has longer field time and is difficult to execute, as you will also have to dodge enemies' attacks. So instead of trying to do 3 full basic attack combos, just try to squeeze in as many basic attacks as you can. So after activating the Dark Surge state, do his basic attack combo, use his skill, then keep doing basic attacks till the 40 is almost depleted. Then use his Liberation and Echo skill before the Dark Surge state ends. And lastly, we have the short rotation, which is used in quick swap teams. For quick swap teams as well, you need to make sure to swap into him during the swap cancel windows and do his warm-up rotation to have access to his Forte circuit. Make sure to keep his Havoc Eclipse set uptime by doing basic attacks. Then after entering the Dark Surge state, use his Enhanced Resonance skill, which can be swap cancelled. If you cannot swap cancel the skill, you can choose not to do it or just use the skill later. Use his Liberation and Echo skill, then swap cancel. You can go back to the Rover again while his Dark Surge state is active to do some basic attacks, or use the Resonance skill if you didn't use it and swap cancel it. Some final thoughts about the Havoc Rover. Havoc Rover, who is completely free, is an absolutely fantastic unit. Being able to be used as a main DPS as well as a quick swap DPS already makes him so good and versatile. He is very easy to play, along with some insane damage. Let me know in the comments what playstyle and teams you will be using with the Rover. And that's all for this video. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. Thanks for watching.